Now, you might be thinking, why the heck would I need a new exchange? I already have one that I'm comfortable with. Well, that's the thing. You may be comfortable with it, but I'd be willing to bet that you're putting up with a subpar experience without even realizing it. But today, that could change because I'm going to introduce to you a new exchange experience that recently launched. With full disclosure, this is a sponsored video, but I've been personally using this exchange for 4 years now, and their new trading platform looks sick. So this is something I'm actually excited for. Anyways, what I'm referring to is the new Kraken Pro platform made by Kraken. And I think the best way to understand why it's such a game changer is to list out the top 10 problems that you face on other exchanges and explain how Kraken Pro solves them. So let's start with problem 1, the fact that you have to use a bunch of different platforms for all your crypto activities. For example, I use one thing for spot trading, one thing for futures, and another thing altogether for staking. I've gotten used to it by now, but ideally there'd be one high quality platform that does it all. Well, fortunately, Kraken Pro does offer them all. You can do spot, margin, perpetual futures, and even staking on there. And I want to call out their perpetual futures and staking specifically, because those are way more safe and high quality than similar products being offered on the less reputable exchanges out there. Now, not all those features are available for every country, like the staking and futures products are not available to US residents, but if it is available for you, then you should definitely consider switching because it could really save you time, headache, and hassle. Anyways, problem 2 is that most exchanges don't have a great trading interface. Like they're either super clunky or just not ideal for how you like it. Most of the time we just live with it, right? But if you use Kraken Pro, it'll really open your eyes as to what you've been missing out on. Their interface is so customizable, like you can go with the super bare bones beginners mode, or the super advanced mode, which I personally like, or anything in between. You can move stuff around, add different modules, and resize everything to get it pixel perfect just how you like it. You may think this is not a big deal, but if you trade a lot, then having your interface just right can save you a ton of time and effort. Now, this next problem is a really thorny one that annoys a ton of traders these days, and that's the lagginess you face during times of high demand. We've all been there, right? When a lot of people are trying to trade at the same time and we experience lag and can't execute our trades smoothly. This could range from being a minor annoyance to a downright travesty if the whole exchange locks up as the price is moving against us. But fortunately, none of that is a concern with Kraken Pro. They recently overhauled their back-end trading engine to seamlessly integrate with their improved infrastructure and WebSocket architecture. So what this means for us is that no matter the speed of our trading or intensity of the demand, they're fully equipped to handle our orders promptly and efficiently. Now next up, we got problem 4, which is that all the functions you use are scattered across the exchange. I'm not gonna name names, but some big exchanges make you go from one part of the exchange to a whole different part just to do some common actions. So that's just an annoying experience in general. But for Kraken Pro, it was designed as a standalone platform, which means we can track our entire portfolio, deposit or withdraw funds, and change our account settings all from one place with minimal clicks. Super convenient if you ask me. Anyways, next we got problem 5, which is that exchanges often have low liquidity for the trading pairs or markets that we want. This is super important because if you trade something with low liquidity, then you're gonna get a worse price for your order. Like you'll end up with less coins when you buy with the same amount of money, or you'll end up with less cash after selling the same amount of coins. So yeah, liquidity is super important, and fortunately, Kraken Pro has great liquidity. When you trade on Kraken Pro, you're trading with Kraken spot markets, which have best-in-class liquidity. Just check this out. They're top 3 on CoinMarketCap's exchange liquidity rankings, and their Bitcoin spot markets also have better liquidity spread and slippage depth compared to the other top exchanges out there. So yeah, you really can't go wrong here. Now next up is problem number 6, which is that many of the exchanges out there have questionable security practices, and hence we gotta worry about them getting hacked even if our personal security practices are great. Well, fortunately, this is not something you have to worry about when it comes to Kraken, because they put the security of our data and funds above all else. They really act as the guardians of our crypto, and they have a world-class security team that always puts client security first. So maybe that's why they have such a great 12-year track record. Anyways, all that is to say that we can sleep soundly when using their platform, and I have my funds on Kraken as we speak, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Now, the next problem, number 7, is that most exchanges have really poor customer support. If we run into any sort of issue, it's super frustrating to have to deal with their support teams. Like, we're often left hanging, or they just can't answer our basic questions. But once again, that's not something you have to worry about when it comes to Kraken Pro. They have round-the-clock global support, and they boast an average resolution time of less than 5 minutes. But instead of telling you, let me show you this clip of me asking them a question.
Okay, so I got the live chat open. I'm just typing in a simple question I had on my mind, and this is being sped up, by the way, so that's why you see the time elapsing so quickly. But this is showing you how much time in the real world is passing. And now I'm connected to a real support agent, ask my question, and they're typing. And yeah, they gave me the answer, and they're just typing a secondary answer, and boom, done.
You see, it's not just talk. They have super fast support, and their live chat is integrated straight into Kraken Pro. But anyways, the next problem, number 8, is quite the interesting one. It's the fact that many exchanges offer hundreds of coins, but make it hard to sift through them to discover new opportunities. Like, we scroll for days, but there's no great way to filter them and easily tell what's available. Most of the time we have to go to third-party sites like CoinMarketCap to do the discovery part, and then go back to the exchange to trade them. But for Kraken Pro, we can skip that middle step, because check this out. You can filter by category like DeFi, Layer 2, or gaming, and then within that, you can filter by top gaining or top losing. You can also click on new listings to see the latest coins that have been added. So yeah, super convenient, and I'm a fan. Next up is problem number 9, which is a huge problem for most traders out there. And that's the fact that the exchange's charting and data offerings suck. So we have to go off platform for that. This is super important because if you don't have the proper tools to analyze the charts, then you're probably just flying blind and leaving a lot of money on the table. But once again, this is not an issue when it comes to Kraken Pro. They have full feature charting, which lets you do all the technical analysis that your heart desires. And they even have advanced analytics, which gives you access to exchange data like the number of trades, the order book slippage, and things like that. That's info you usually cannot get from third-party platform, so it's super clutch. And I, for one, will be studying that data before entering any position. Now, last but definitely not least, problem number 10 is that many exchanges out there don't have the order types we want. Like, sure, they have market orders and limit orders, but we often need more than that to properly set up our strategy. For example, we need stop losses, take profits, reduce only, and a bunch of other flexible order types. But once again, not a problem when it comes to Kraken Pro, because it has all of those. One cool thing they have too is OTO, or one triggers the other orders, which lets you set up multiple orders at a time. Like, you can place a limit buy order and a stop loss order at the same time, and the stop loss order only goes into effect if the limit buy was hit in the first place. So yeah, that's super useful. And an even cooler feature is when you put an order in, you can edit it directly in the chart, which is something I've never seen before. Phew, that was a lot of features, wasn't it? Well, I just started to use this platform myself, and you should definitely try it out when you get the chance. I recommend trying them out for perpetual futures and staking if that's available for you. Just use my link below, and cheers.